Hi Graham, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Good summer?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, nice
Good.
couple of weeks with the
Good.
family and a bit of a rest. So yeah, nice.
Excellent, excellent. We'll crack on. Good that you've come back refreshed. Can you just give us an update of the squad just going into the first game of the season, Graham? Have you got any fresh fitness concerns?
No, not fresh ones. We're still without Danny Welbeck, Dan Burn, Tariq Lamptey. They're all making good progress, but the game will come too soon for them. Moises Caicedo came back from the Copa America with a slight knee issue, so we're just dealing with that. Kel's rolled his ankle, so he's not available, but we have everybody else.
What's the latest situation with Tariq? Is he back training or?
He's joins the group intermittently, still doing his rehab, but joining the group. Had a bit of a slow few weeks, but has made good progress recently. So he's joining a few sessions with the players. We're hoping to step that up over the next days, weeks, and yeah, with a bit of luck, maybe after the international break, we might see a bit more of Tariq.
Well, that's good news. In terms of a finishing position in the coming season, Graham, this is your fifth consecutive season in the top flight as a club. How would you measure progress? What target and what position are you looking at?
Well, you want to improve, which I think was what you indicated. That's certainly the aim for every team, I think, in the Premier League. At the same time, we're one of a number of teams that would look at it and say we need to fight to stay in the Premier League. We need to make sure we retain our status as the first thing you look at, and then you see how competitive the league is. That's a huge challenge. As you said, 5 years in the Premier League is something for us to be pleased about. We want to carry on improving. Last year we had a finish in the 16th position, developed our team, developed the individuals, managed to make a big sale. So lots of positives, but clearly we still want to improve. But as I said many a time, there's the Premier League. There's a lot of teams there that are fighting to make sure they're staying in it next year.
But would you be expecting perhaps to push on from 16th, given the experience now that you've got the Premier League?
I don't know whether I'd use the word expecting. I'd say we'll be trying and we're hoping to, but I don't think it's a case of expecting. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think the league is that tough that you have to start again. You have to earn the right to get the points, and every match is so difficult, so competitive, so complicated that you want to improve and you want to try to improve and hope to improve, but I think expectation is a strong word.
You mentioned that the club had made a big sale. You sold Ben White for £50 million, and you said it's important to spend the money wisely. What's the likelihood of some new faces coming into the club this window, Graham?
Well, while the window's open, you never know. That's how football is. That's the beauty of the transfer window. There's lots of speculation, and you get linked with these players and that player and all the rest of it. That's part of the noise. But as I said, we have to spend it wisely, which is the right player, the right person. If that comes along, then of course it helps us to help the group. We've got that possibility, but if not, we have to keep improving the players that we have here. That's my job.
Absolutely, but how important is it that you perhaps look to strengthen in the forward areas, perhaps just to get that shot conversion rate up a bit from last season?
Well, I think not necessarily. It's necessarily about investing or buying somebody. Like I said before, I think if the right person is available and it helps the team and it makes us better, then of course we have to look at that. It isn't quite as simple as that. Finding those solutions within our structure with the money we have available, it's not so simple. So the main thing is we have to collectively keep improving. We have to keep maintaining our level, trying to improve, get better, improve our attackers, improve our defenders, improve everybody, and at the same time the club has always a responsibility to keep looking to see what's out there externally that can help the team, and that'll happen up until the last day of the window.
What are the chances that Yves Bissouma will still be at Brighton come the end of the window, Graham?
I've been speaking about Yves Bissouma for quite some time, and he's still here. So, that's all I can say on it. I can't control the future. I don't know what's going to happen. Essentially, that's the beauty of life and football. Yves is with us. He's happy. He's smiling. He wants to play. He wants to keep improving his career. He's taken steps, and he's our player. And while he's here, we'll do our best to help him.
And just finally from me, Graham, can you just outline the latest on the situation regarding Percy Tau?
There's no situation really. He's training with us this morning. He's been with us. A bit of interest from overseas, but nothing to report.
Do you expect him to be a Brighton player come the end of the window?
Again, expectation, I'm not sure. I can't control that. We'll see.
But he'll be involved in the squad on Saturday if selected.
Yeah, he's available, yeah.
What would you say the targets are for Brighton this season, or is that a dangerous word to use? Because, you're getting towards that sort of status of an established Premier League club now, rather than a newly promoted side.
Yeah, and I think the established Premier League club, I don't think exists, to be honest, apart from maybe 6 or 7 clubs. I think as soon as you think that, then you're in trouble at a club and a team where we are. We're always trying to improve. It's as simple as that. That's what you have to do. You're trying to improve. You improve your players, you improve the team, how you attack, how you defend, and always remember that the main aim is to firstly stay in the Premier League and then to try to get as many points as you can. But as I said in the previous answer, it's not the toughest league in the world for nothing. The points are hard, and the teams coming up will be strong. The teams around you improve. Everybody invests. You see the amount of money that the top clubs are spending. It is what it is. So for us, we have to just focus on the next day, the next training session, the next match, and try our best to win that.
You're talking about improvements being the key thing. Is it too simplistic to talk about converting all those chances being the only area you need to improve on?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a strap line that is easy to say, but from our perspective, we know we have to improve in all the areas, and we're up for that challenge. That's where we're at. We're 2 years into this journey together at Brighton Hove Albion. We want to try and keep going, keep improving, rather than focus on one area. Try to improve everything. The players have come back from pre-season in a really good attitude, a really good mentality. So we're excited for the start of the season.
And when you look at Burnley, you mentioned that there's not that many teams that are truly established Premier League sides, but they seem to have got that solidity. Do you look at them as an example of where you'd like to be in terms of creating that foundation in the top division?
But I think if you speak to Sean, he will say the same thing. Every year you start off and you're fighting to stay in the Premier League, and that's why they're still there. They have that mentality. They have, of course, they'll have seasons where they'll do better than others, and that's football. That's what it is. But they're a really good example, I think, of they've got a stability, they've got an understanding, they've got really, really good players that I think are underrated. Sean has done a fantastic job. They're really, really efficient in terms of what they do and how they play. I think, as I've said before, I think they get the respect that they deserve, and it's from our perspective, we've got huge admiration for what they do, how they do it, the job they've done. Resources aren't big, but they've got stability, they've got continuity, they've got know-how, they've got togetherness, they've got things that are really, really important as well. So it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, you mentioned that perhaps they don't get the sort of credit or respect they deserve, because they're more than just an efficient side, aren't they, in terms of when you're having to tackle them? No,
absolutely. They've if you look at go through their team, goalkeeper, two centre backs are so underrated, I think, in terms of how they defend the box, how much they affect the strength of their side. The 2 fullbacks, whichever 2 they pick, are Premier League footballers that know the game. Cork, Westwood in midfield, really underrated, really good players. Any 2 from 4 strikers, can cause you damage in the Premier League. They probably haven't got the X factor, that bit of magic that the top teams have. But as an attacking force with McNeil, Brownhill, whoever they want to play on the sides, Football sometimes focuses on individuals, but as a collective, they're really, really strong and they know what they're doing. There's a benefit of stability. There's a benefit of being together a long time. They know each other's game. Like I said, Sean, fantastic job. Great manager, great managing people, organising his team. So, we know we're in for a tough game.
And just finally on Sean, considering how established he's become, as a fellow English manager, is he somebody that you can sort of draw from? He's not like in the Sir Alex category, but we know that he would ring sort of newish managers and talk to them. Is he now, because he's been around for so long in the Premier League, someone that you can talk to and glean stuff from?
Well, I think he absolutely can. I've only had brief chats with Sean, and I like his company. You've got to respect what he's done. He's to be at that level for as long as he has, to compete in the Premier League as long as he has. It's a fantastic career, and I'm sure it doesn't need me to speak for himself, but for him. But he's had different experiences, ups and downs, but I think it looks like he remains fairly calm, fairly consistent, understands his strengths, understands what he's trying to do at Burnley, and that's football management, and he does it really, really well.
Graham, last season you had what on paper was a very tough start to the season. How important is it that you make a good start and come out the traps really well this season?
Well, on paper, everything seems a little bit more different, Johnny. I would say I think every game in the Premier League is really, really difficult. And we've got a massive challenge against Burnley away, crowd back. I think there'll be a hostile, lively atmosphere. They'll be on the front foot and making it difficult for us. So we're expecting a difficult game. But I think every team would say the same. It's of course beneficial to get off to a good start. Everyone's going to say the same. Sean will say the same. 3 points opening day would be wonderful. We had that in the first year. So we'll try our best. We know the opposition will be doing the same, and that's what we'll be fighting for.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 against them, the last 4 have been draws. Always quite tight affairs between you two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think last year we got away with a draw there. It was 1-1, but they should have won the game. I think probably we should have won the game at home, maybe not as clearly, but yeah, they're always tight, like you say. I think a draw, and I think we won on the last day of the season, but that could have gone either way as well. So tight games, 2 teams fighting for the points. It'll be interesting.
Just on a couple of players, Florian Andoni's been featuring for you in pre-season. What's it been like having him back at the club and involved in training, and what are his prospects?
No, it's been good. Nice for him to be healthy. The main thing for him and for us, for everybody, because he's had a long time out. He's battled back from a serious knee injury. So we've had to be careful with him, build him up in a good way. I think he's got time on the pitch, which has been important for him. He's taking steps. It's at the stage now. It's difficult. We've got to try and think about how we get more minutes for him, more game time, because it's a big ask to go from what he's been having to go through in terms of his rehab to then getting minutes in the Premier League. But he's available. He's training. He's in a good place. So I'm pleased for him just for that he's back healthy.
And just finally, what about Taylor Richards? What does he bring, and why have you included him? What's it been like, and what difference does he bring to the squad?
Well, I think he's had a year away with Doncaster. Darren Moore did a fantastic job with him. He had a great experience there. Has developed and grown up as a person, taken steps off the pitch, taken steps on the pitch, and he's come back in pre-season really, really well. He's impressed. He brings something different. He can make things happen on his own. He's got high quality action, so we're excited by him in terms of how he's developing. He's still got more to do, of course, a lot to do, but young player that's got it's at the start of his journey with us, I think.